I'll get a quick look at myself. I don't look too bad. I mean, I look disheveled, but that's because of lack of presentation. You know, I haven't shaved well and due for a haircut. But in terms of the rest of it, I seem not too bad. So anyone familiar with cycling knows it can take a fair few kilometres to get some really good quality work in. And of course, anyone familiar with cycling also knows how hard it is to clock up those kilometres, especially on nice bike paths. And so for anyone living in Perth or who was thinking of visiting and doing some cycling, I thought I'd show you how you can clock up 200 kilometres here yourself. Here you can see me fueling for the day ahead, classic me goring an absolute easy carb load, and my morning coffee, which I don't even know how many shots that was. I should really measure it. Here you can see I've got some homemade banana bread, which is an absolute treat to go with the coffee. Great combination. And here's all the food I'll be taking to snack on throughout the day. All right, so basically the plan is 200 kilometers. I was meant to leave at either 6 or 7, but always late for stuff like this. So it's about 8 o'clock now. I'm about to leave, which means I'll probably finish around like 5 p.m. Obviously 200k is a fair whack of a distance. So I've got a ride from Rockingham to Mandurah, and then from Mandurah I can kind of start heading north towards the city. Then I'll do either a few small loops of the river in the city, the 10-kilometer bridge to bridge, or I'll just try to do a big loop of the river, try to accumulate maybe like 40 kilometers there. And then from there, hopefully I'm at about 150 kilometers. And then I can kind of just cycle to Yanchep, get to Yanchep Traino, and just jump on the train, head home, listen to some beach house. So hopefully everything goes well. I hope I haven't left it a little bit too late. I'm jacked up on caffeine. Here's the love of my life that I'm taking, Giant Advanced 1 gravel bike. And the reason why I'm doing these long rides is because I bought this bike because I want to do a Kyrgyzstan trip and a Tajikistan trip mid-year. I want to ride the length, or I want to ride across Kyrgyzstan to Tajikistan and then climb this 7,000 meter peak. So I'm just kind of preparing for that. Obviously the bike will be fully loaded and it'll be very mountainous on that trip, but I'm just trying to clock out like 200 kilometer cycles here with no gear or anything, just to get some time and volume into the legs, so that then once I can do a few 200 kilometer rides, no issues, then I'll start to load up the bike and do shorter rides, but obviously with more load on the bikes. And I'll probably try to find some hills or some gravelly roads or anything like that. So anyway, I'm late, but I got to get going. I'm not the guy with all the gear, no idea. I've literally don't really have any idea, and I don't really have any great gear. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so when you think of 200 kilometers, obviously it is a fair whack. I get a little bit annoyed that I can't just, ride 200 kilometers straight along the freeway. But then you think about it and you realize the luxury of, having the freeway kind of cycle path we have. And from the south, Mandurah to Perth, that's honestly like 70 kilometers, 60, 70 kilometers of just pure straight cycle path, which honestly, I think you'll struggle to find anywhere in the world except Perth. So we should actually be pretty grateful for that. I could also just cycle northbound, and then once I'm done there, cycle back southbound. However, if you're from Perth, you'd know that we always usually have like a strong southerly wind. So it heads north, meaning that if you wanted to come back south, you would be fighting like a pretty intense headwind when the Frio doctor comes in, at least after midday. Hence why I have to ride out to the freeway path and then head south to Mandurah before then starting my journey completely north. And this part's the part that's always annoying, heading from the coast towards the freeway. It's about 8 to 10 Ks, and obviously the body's warming up, the legs are getting warmed up, and you're usually fighting a decent crosswind. So yeah, this part's really annoying until I get my legs in. Hopefully average about 24 kilometers an hour on this cycle. I'd be happy with that. 200 Ks is a long way, so that would be okay.
All right, here at the freeway, bike path entrance, gonna head south towards Mandurah, and basically I'll be on this path for maybe like 80 kilometers, 80, 90 kilometers. And then I'll head into the city, do a lap or two of the river, and then basically head on that northbound bike path, which has some disruptions, like interruptions, where you have to cross over the actual freeway or bridges over the freeway and stuff like that. All right, about halfway to Mandurah. So obviously I got this bike for my Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan trip, but the real main reason I convinced myself to get the bike was for just off-feet conditioning, because I did basically all my conditioning running and I do a lot of strength training. Like for example, 2 days ago, I was squatting like 2 times my body weight for reps. Now I'm on this bloody ride. So if I was to do like a really long run, that would just absolutely beat up and destroy the old legs. I emphasize old because 28 right now. So yeah, this is where it really starts to like creep up on you essentially. Recovery is just not as efficient and fast as it once was. And so using the bike as a tool to perform that long duration cardio without really banging up the joints it absolutely works wonders. And I'm not sure why more people don't do it, because when you're performing cardio, you want to kind of elicit a stimulus that your body can then adapt to. And if we're talking about cardiovascular adaptations, your body doesn't care if you're on a bike, on your feet, swimming. It doesn't care about the vessel in which you're performing the long duration cardio. It simply just cares about the adaptations being created for, you know, the heart, lungs, capillaries, etc. All that kind of cardiovascular health stuff. Now, if you're a really good runner and you really need to bonify that kind of tissue quality and durability, you know, tendons, muscles, stuff like that, obviously you'd opt to run more. However, a cycle or a swim here and there is not going to be a detriment to that tissue quality. All right, so we're just over an hour in, which means it's the first feeding time of the cycle. My kind of approach here with feeding is I'm just trying to get in like around 50 grams of carbs every hour. I think if you're doing an endurance event, you should be getting in like 60 to 80 an hour. I'm just trying to like just get enough in. All endurance events is essentially just eating contests. Like, yeah, you've got to be fit to actually perform the event, and you got to have like the durability in your body to perform the event. But the underlying issue is actually the nutrition. So if you get that right and you just make sure you eat enough calories and carbohydrates and the right calories and carbohydrates, then like honestly, you're sweet. Your body will keep going. So I'm gonna have 3 giant anacondas. That's been my go-to of late. 3 of those are about 50 grams of carbs or somewhere around there. Really easy, fast-acting carbs and sugars, really easily digestible. So I'll have them now. Definitely not going to be able to record it though. I've only got 2 hands. All right, that's officially the end of the bicycle path to Mandurah. Unless I continue to south Yanchep, whatever the hell that is. So I've done 34 Ks. So from here to the city is probably going to be 75 or so, which will take me to 100. And then I'm probably going to have to do like 4 laps of the river and then make my way to Yanchep. But yep, that was fun. I wish it went a little bit further, but I think the good thing was I was battling a headwind, because obviously those southerly winds head north. So now I should have a tailwind, and just praying that it stays that way for the rest of the day, but who knows. Six, 7. So officially a quarter of the way done, 50 Ks down, 150 more to go. That tailwind that I was hoping for, I don't think is going to exist, which is like absolutely devastating, but it's all right. About to have my second feed, a few more snakes, and yeah, it's going all right, I guess. Not too many complaints. I'm just getting to Karnup Road now. Then next stop, Safety Bay, which is the entry that I actually got onto to start on this path, and then yeah, smooth sailings to Perth. I'd like to get to like 110 kilometers in Perth, or 120. I can't do maths right now because I'm tired, but if that was the case, then I'd probably only have to do like one lap of the river, and then I could just set on my way to Yanchep for the 200. But I'm feeling all right. Like I said, love having the luxury of just a complete straight all the way to Perth. So that's like a 70-kilometer straight bike path with minimal to almost no interruptions, which is cool. Just had the 2 snakes. First banana for the day. Oh, that's God's little gift to us, hey, is the banana. Like this thing packed full of carbs. I think it's like 25 grams of carbs per banana. So I just had 2 snakes. So that's about 60 grams of carbs. That should keep me nice and well for the time being. And there we are, the Karnup Road. We're just passing some nice little paddocks with some horses and stuff in them, which is cool. Far out. I don't know what it is about this Karnup Road to Safety Bay Road path here, but you absolutely zip through it. Like you pick up quite a lot of pace. I don't know if it's because the pavement's really nice or what, but yeah, you zip through it. Here we are, Safety Bay Road Bridge. From here, you get a pretty good speed throughout the whole ride, which is good. So yeah, it should be pretty cruisy the next 50 kilometers, we hope. All right, 71 kilometers in, starting to get a little bit tired. Shouts out Austin McAleese. He owns this part of the strip. Probably go in another 10 minutes, it'll be 3 hours time. I'll probably get up, maybe stand there for a few minutes, pee, eat again, and then I should be good to go. But it's going all right so far. I'm gonna hit 100 kilometers as I get into the city, which is annoying because I don't necessarily want to do like 3 laps of the river and then go on my way. I would have loved to have gotten to the city and thought, okay, I need to do 1 lap of the river and then kind of just take off, just from a mental standpoint. But it's all right, hopefully the wind's not too bad. Around the river and around Optus Stadium is a really nice ride, so yeah, not too much to complain about. All right, there you go. We're 3 hours in, just passing Auburn Grove now. I always do this on like long endurance feats. I tell myself I'm gonna stop and have a break somewhere, but then I get there and I'm like, fuck, I don't really want to stop. I kind of want to continue the momentum, the trajectory. So I'm just gonna eat on the go. I think I might stop in the city or somewhere near it, but yeah, making up for a right time. Honestly, this Cockburn, Belia Drive kind of road you have here, you absolutely fly through as well. No idea why. Like, I know surface makes a difference when you're cycling, and this does have a really nice surface like that other Karnup to Safety Bay area, but I don't think it could make that much of a difference. But I'm always flying through this area. And I just had to stop in Cockburn for a quick loo break, and also my water's empty. If my water didn't get empty, I wouldn't have stopped. Obviously, like I said, fueling's the most important thing you need to look after on these endurance-y feet things. But it's always interesting to get off the bike after like 3 hours and have a little walk around, and then you'll feel like all these little niggles, or you'll feel really how fresh you are. It's a good way to gauge kind of where you're at. Take off. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit tender. That's right. Man, people that exercise are just usually so much happier. I was just crouched over filling up my water, and obviously because I'm slouched over it looks a bit weird. This guy almost stops his ride and it's just like, are you okay? You need any help? And I just said, I'm completely fine, thanks. But I don't know, you're just on these long rides, you're getting some good hormones cranking, you know, the endorphins are high, and you're just happier. That's why I don't understand why people don't exercise more, or, you know, especially outdoors in the sun. Outdoors in the sun is, you actually can't beat it, especially for recovery. If you want to recover optimally, there's not much better than like a ride or a walk outside in the sun, fresh air. It's awesome. Anywho, got about 120 kilometers to go, so tracking okay. All right, here you can just start seeing the city properly. 91 k's in, just going over Mount Henry Bridge, over the Esplanade in Melville. And yeah, this is a good part of the ride because you know you're like decently close to the city. And it's nice, just going over the river for the first time is really nice. awesome views in Perth that we definitely take for granted. Over there, if you can see that bridge just there, that is the Highway to Hell bridge. So that's what AC/DC sing about. But nah, really awesome views, 92 Ks into the ride. And then once we get there, I'll have a look how many Ks we've done and try to calculate like a good plan of attack from there. People that still rock the wired earphones, like the old Apple kind of ones, what's the go? Because from all the research I've seen, I haven't seen any issues with Bluetooth or radiation or anything like that. The only thing I can think of is if it saves you battery. That's it. Like a lot of people use them traveling. That makes sense, but besides that, I'm unsure. Alright, so I just hit 100 just as I rocked up to the city, to South Perth foreshore. So I wanted to be a few more kilometres into the ride, but whatever, it is what it is. Shouts out to the South Perth foreshore. It's an absolute treat. Love coming here for runs and cycles. So anyway, I'm going to do a quick loop around Optus Stadium all the way over there and then check how many Ks I'm at. Probably go get a coffee and yeah, should be fun. There we go, we got Optus Stadium, home of Flag Mantle. This is actually my first time being at Optus Stadium while there's no sports on. Like I only come here for sports or gigs. Apparently it's really popular to cycle around, so that's what I'm doing right now. And obviously you can see heaps of people here for cycling too, which is pretty cool. What is this? Kobe. Over the bridge. Nice bridge here. Apparently there's an island here somewhere. No idea where it is, but anyway, this is like a Perth tourist attraction, this bridge. All right, we're officially in the big city, the Big Apple. If you know anything about Perth, there's the bell tower. That was only like 13 kilometers around this side of the river and around Optus, which means I've got to do another one for sure, and then fingers crossed doing another one actually gets me to enough distance where I can just cycle to Yanchep, because I really hate getting to a destination with a particular amount of kilometers in mind, and then once I get there it's like, oh no, you actually got to do 10 more Ks. You kind of want that end checkpoint to be like the final destination, the finishing touch. So what I'm going to quickly do is get a coffee, just a little bit of a kickstart, a little bit of energy, and then yeah, go around the river again and then basically head north. I'll leave that there. Surely no one steals my helmet. If they do, that is just, that ain't cool. Anyway, I'll fill up my water here with this water fountain with a little bit of crust on it. But first I'm going to get myself a coffee. I'll try this place. Hey, how you doing? Can I just get a coffee?
Yeah, what kind of coffee would you like?
The double espresso, please. Double espresso, $10. See, Perth's beautiful, but just don't get anything anywhere near Elizabeth Quay. So, it says on Google Maps it's 60 kilometers cycling to get to Yanchep train station. And funnily enough, there's like literally no climbing the whole southern side of the freeway or the river. But the northern side from here to Yanchep is 800 meters of climbing. So it's good to test the old legs out. 112, or it will be like 130, 40 kilometers into a ride to go and bomb some hills and just see how the legs react to it. But $10 for a coffee for Elizabeth Quay, which means I'm gonna have to somehow probably get some free water, use the toilet, freshen up somehow, just to get my money's worth really. Let's see the verdict. Oh, it's literally like the tiniest little bit to put your fingers. It's actually pretty good. Like, I'm honestly not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. Good coffee, but the fact that that's like 7 centimeters maybe of coffee cost $10. Ugh. Good brew though, actually decent brew. All right, a little bit tired, a little bit sore. So I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit, kind of wait for this coffee to kick in just a touch and eat some realer food. I've got those rice crispy cakes or whatever with Vegemite and butter, so good carbs, bit of fat, bit of solid stuff for my belly that's not just lollies. And then I've got to do 2 more small loops of the Burswood end of the river, which will get me to about 136 kilometers, and then I'll just do the trek to Yanchep Trainer, and hopefully it should be the correct amount, 200 Ks. All right, gonna do another river loop. Hopefully the coffee and the food I just had gives me some energy, but let's do it. That's the second lap of the Burswood end of the river done. So I'm just doing this final lap. That should take me to 136 kilometers, which would make it 64 left? Maybe 64 left, I don't know, my maths is terrible right now. Headwind, fucking hell. That was the last time passing the stadium. Now, got to hit this bridge one more time, and then, yeah, thank God, almost kind of low-key done. That headwind is just absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm just praying that it's not there on the northbound Mitchell Freeway or whatever you want to call it. All right, it's actually really, really bad now. I'm going really slow. You can see the ocean's pretty wild. All these trees are going crazy in the background. All right, I'm back at the exact same spot where I got the coffee at 137 kilometers. I'm just gonna quickly stop and eat so I don't have to eat on the go, and I can just kind of pump out the next 60 kilometers if I can. But that wind, oh, that wind killed me. Oh. I've just rode through the city and I'm pretty much officially going northbound. Probably around 60 kilometers to go from here. So hopefully the wind is good to me. That is 150 Ks down, so just 50 more. Hopefully it takes a couple hours. I don't know if I'll be able to hit 25 kilometer an hour average. I'm pretty tired, to be honest, but yeah, it'd be nice if it was done in just 2 hours or so. 153 kilometers in, you will turn onto the left side of the freeway. Here's where the hills really start, so you have to be really careful. No, I'll drop the wannabe South African accent. I thought the hills were gonna start, or the climbs, at like 100, 110, but it turns out they're starting at like 155. So it's just when you move onto the left side of the freeway heading into Joondalup, you get probably 15 kilometers where you got decent climbs and decent descents. All right, that's the hilly part done. It's not actually anywhere near as long as I said it was. It's probably like 8 kilometers worth of climbing and whatever the opposite of climbing is, I can't remember right now because I'm really tired. But yeah, it's just a decent climbing, especially for like city, suburban Perth. And so that's why I was under the impression that it was way longer than it was. Anyway, 8 kilometers away from Joondalup. I'm basically in Currumbine, or 8 kilometers away from Mandurah for all you northerners. We don't really know what that is. Quick toilet break and fill up the water bottle one more time. And then 31 kilometers to go, and then I'm done. So I should be finishing about 5:30. Yeah, this is actually it's like a really nice, open, spacious kind of path from here onto basically the end of the freeway where you get off, and then you transition to Yanchep, which is like very rolly and hilly. Luckily a lot more downhill than climbing. So I'll quickly fill up this water bottle and yeah, just finish the job off. I've also got a raging headache. So for anybody out there, if you ever go for a long ride, just make sure you bring Panadol. Rookie mistake by me, rookie mistake. I'll get a quick look at myself. I don't look too bad. I mean, I look disheveled, but that's because of lack of presentation. You know, I haven't shaved well in due for a haircut. But in terms of the rest of it, I seem not too bad. All right, I'm really far north now, and I know that because I literally just saw a tumbleweed. A tumbleweed just crossed the path, and that's when I thought I'm literally like in the middle of nowhere right now. Just over 20 Ks to go. Getting pretty tired, but I'm just passing through Butler now, which is kind of like the last major, oh my God. The wind here is really bad as well. The wind's almost blowing my bike from under me a couple times. I have to hold on really tight from now, which is pretty dangerous, but whatevs. But yeah, just past Butler, the last big city before Yanchep, and then yeah, 20 more Ks probably from now, good to go. Hopefully the headwind's not too bad for that first half from Butler to Yanchep. All right, so you're gonna get to the end of the freeway, which is that corner right there. Now you're kind of just in suburbia again. And excuse the headwind, but this is literally Yanchep, man. It's just like sand and kind of new infrastructure in terms of like roads and stuff like that. Super weird, super weird place. I'm gonna turn here if I can. Oh, a bit sore, fuck. That's it, and now you've got this, which is, I'd say this is the equivalent of Safety Bay Road. Yeah, let that sink in. Anyway, I think I got like 20 kilometers from here. Oh, pretty hilly. I don't have much to say. Thankfully, I avoided the headwind, just a crosswind. But like, this doesn't even look like a hill, but oh, just had to climb that. Really low gears, really sore legs. Whew, I think I got like 15 kilometers to go. All right, so here is literally Yanchep. Like, this is literally what it looks like. Sadly, what I had feared has come to fruition. I'm here, I'm at the train station, but I've still got 3 kilometers I have to tick off, which literally means like I'm just gonna have to ride up and down this road and try to accumulate 3 kilometers worth. I thought it was gonna be longer than this, but it looks like it's only like a few hundred meters long. So maybe I have to do, I don't know, I just gotta accumulate 3 kilometers. But that's Rockingham to Mandurah to Perth, 3 laps of the Burswood end of the river and a cycle to Yanchep. That's it. And it's still not 200 Ks, which is what I was saying was annoying, but at the same time, we do have the luxury of these long straights with no stops or anything like that, especially on that southern end. So I'm appreciative of that. Oh, that wind really picked up. I just gotta quickly check when this train comes. Here we are, Yanchep train station. 3 minutes. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Oh, that's me done. It was fun. I've been riding a little bit. I've done a couple big rides. One 200 kilometer I did a few years ago on a shit bike, no prep, purely fueled by heartbreak, and that took me probably a couple hours longer than this did. For this one, I trained because I got a bike. I've been commuting with my bike, but I've also been going on like 1 long ride a week, and I think that's actually helped quite a bit. I'm sore and I'm tired, but it's not anything excruciating. If someone said you have to go do 50 more Ks, I could. It would be shit, but I could. Here's an example of how you can do 200 Ks in Perth. I've seen videos for Sydney, I've seen videos for Vic, and this is just how you can do it in Perth. If you're from Yanchep or further north, I would just recommend doing the exact same thing, except going from wherever you are north to Yanchep and then back to Mandurah. But just make sure you do it in the morning, because usually there's a really strong headwind that comes in after like midday. But if I could do it again as well, I would have just gone further than I did when I finished in Mandurah to South Yanchep or whatever it is. And then I probably would have done the exact same thing, but just accumulated like another 10 kilometers, because I literally just rode around the car park for like 2 kilometers to get 200 kilometers on the trip. So thanks, hope you enjoy. I'm gonna have a Rockaby, gonna go to the best restaurant in Perth, the one and only. Every opportunity I get, I go to it. Going to enjoy myself there, and then the best part about the rest of my day is that I actually have to ride home from the train station about 5 kilometers, and my ass is sore as. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe if you like seeing us do dumb stuff like this. And yeah, if you want to see us do any other dumb stuff, you got any recommendations, just let us know.